Ready for this week's Storyworks writing tip? Here goes. How is speaking different from dialogue? Speaking is something we do. Dialogue is something we write. Dialogue is an artifice that needs to be crafted like any part of a story. We want our characters to sound natural when they're speaking, true. That means we want them to have dialects, verbal tics, and markers of their background, like upbringing, region, and profession, just like real human beings. But if we don't craft our characters' spoken words as carefully as we do our narrative, we can end up with poorly written dialogue that fails to advance our stories, lacks dramatic tension, and does nothing to reveal our characters. When writing dialogue, remove any filler words, including social pleasantries. While it can be abrupt and awkward to launch into discussion without a hello, or end one without so much as a see you later, keeping pleasantries to the bare minimum necessary to avoid creating irritation in your reader will keep your story moving. For example, it might be the most natural thing in the world for someone to come home and tell their partner about their experience at the doctor's office. But if we're a reader and we were just at the doctor's office with your point of view character, to hear that character describe that experience to another character creates drag in your plot and narrative. It becomes redundant and bogs down your story. You stand to lose your reader in that moment. How do you avoid it? Craft the dialogue so that it repeats nothing the reader already knows. How? One way is to use a bit of narrative summary and give the character an action to fill the gap. Husband: how did things go at the doctor's? Wife: oh, fine. She moved to the fridge so her back was turned to Sam, then opened the door and spoke into the cold contents of the icebox. She wanted the frosty sidewalls to trap her words, turn them to crystals, and lock them in the back with the bag of frozen peas they never seemed able to eat. She knew it was no use before she got to the last word. Sam was already standing behind her, already knew what she was about to say. In this bit of narrative sleight of hand, we avoid telling the reader what he already knows and instead focus on the emotion of the moment, the connection between the characters, and it builds to the moment we really want to see, the one that does not cover old ground but takes us forward into new ground. How will Sam react to the news? How will they go forward? Here the action involves a prop, the fridge, but it could be as simple as a gesture, chewing fingernails, or looking away. The description of the gesture fills the space that would be taken up by the dialogue were we to have a replay of what would actually be spoken in real life. Another technique is to have your characters talk around what just happened. They might avoid the subject or deny it. Husband: how was the doctor? Wife: I think I'll cook these peas tonight. I don't know why we never eat peas. Husband: I don't really care for peas. Wife: but they're so good for us. We really should eat healthier. Husband: oh? Wife: I'm going to make more of an effort. So should you, you know? Whatever technique you use to avoid repetition, there's a quick test to see if your dialogue is working for your story, you, and your reader. Simply ask, is this advancing my character, plot, and theme? This is a Storyworks writing tip, and I'm Alita Winternheimer, author, editor, teacher, and podcaster. Want more on dialogue? Visit storyworkspodcast.com and put dialogue in the search bar. And if you enjoyed this or learned a little bit about Storycraft from it, please rate and review it, share it with your friends, post it on social media. That is the easiest and best way to show your support for the show. Thanks for listening and have a great writing week.